On November 19th, 2025, Old School RuneScape has released Sailing, its first brand new skill since its reinception in 2013. And with it, the seas have come alive. Set sail with me on a brand new journey as we find out all the skill has to offer on a brand new sailing-based chunk locked account. Welcome aboard to Portlock. Hello, and welcome back to Portlock Episode 2. Last time, when we started our sailing journey, we made it to the Pandemonium, reached level 15 fishing to catch an anchovy, reached level 43 cooking to cook a bass, and got to level 15 sailing so that we could purchase a skiff, as well as build a bronze salvaging hook. When we were testing out that salvaging hook, we also happened to get a boat bottle, which was an almost 1 in 700 drop, after not even a dozen salvages. That's about all from last episode though. So with that, let's get started. So while I was doing some research between episodes, I noticed that I missed an entire part of sailing. And that's that you can actually upgrade your ship, not just build different facilities on it. Makes a lot of sense. But if I come here to this modified boat schematics, you'll see that this includes a number of different things that you can upgrade on your ship. The hull, which gives it more speed and increases hit points. The keel, which adds armor and increases hit points. The helm, which allows you to resist rapids. I don't exactly know what that means. Sails, which allows you to resist storms and increases your boost and acceleration. The trim, which is purely decorative, and I don't think I have access to any of these paints. Flag, which also is purely decorative, to mark some kind of an achievement you've done, and so you need these different fabric rolls, which I don't have access to. And a brazier, which I have no idea what it does, and we don't even have the schematic for it. But this adds a couple of things that we need to our task list. We'll need to build an oak hull, an iron keel, and an iron helm. These all have fairly low sailing and construction requirements, the keel being the highest at 22 and 17. However, the requirements I'm doing is that the highest level ship needs to be as upgraded as possible. This includes all of the best facilities that we have access to, and now all of the best boat parts that we have access to. So we'll need to build the oak hull and the iron keel and the iron helm all on the sloop once we have access to it, which poses a bit of an issue, but we'll see how big it is when we actually get there. You see, the sloop requires significantly more materials than the skiff or the raft do. For the iron helm, this will require 4 oak planks and 8 iron bars. The keel and the hull require keel parts and hull parts respectively. For the sloop, they require large parts. Each large part is made up of 5 regular parts, and each regular part is made up of 5 of the resource that goes into them. The oak hull on the sloop requires 16 large oak hull parts, which in turn requires 80 normal oak hull parts, which then in turn requires 400 oak planks. And then the same with the keel, but for iron bars. Long story short, for trading any construction or smithing, I will attempt to limit that to using regular planks and bronze bars, unless we get over that 400 number for each of those. Now, all in all, we only need to get 20 at construction to build an iron cannon, and 33 smithing to smith an iron plate body, so I really don't think that's going to be much of an issue. Before we really get into it, let's take a quick look at where our task list stands. First of all, we have our best in slot requirements. We need 5 defense for a Tyrus helm. Because we got a steel scimitar in our last episode from a lost crate, we also need 5 attack to wield the steel scimitar. We'll need to acquire a set of iron armor, which comes along with a 33 smithing grind to be able to build that iron plate body. We've completed our fishing and cooking requirements, but we do still have level 60 grinds for woodcutting, fletching, and firemaking to process yew trees. We'll need to kill a handful of monsters, as well as acquire a beginner clue scroll drop from them. For sailing, we've already purchased a skiff, but we do still need to purchase a sloop, which requires 50 sailing, and recruit Adventure Ada at 55 sailing. From salvaging, we were lucky enough to receive a boat bottle last episode. However, we still need to get a steel bar, sailor's amulet, and a rusty locket. Now, facilities, much like upgrades, also need to be built on the sloop itself. And so we'll need to build an oak cargo hold, an iron salvaging hook, and an iron cannon on the sloop. Now, with these newly discovered tasks for the ship upgrades, we'll also need to build an iron helm, an iron keel, and an oak hull, all on the sloop. But with that, let's get started. Now, our goal for the time being is to get the 21 sailing, 9 construction to build an iron salvaging hook, and the 18 sailing and 11 construction needed to build an oak cargo hold. We're going to be mostly focusing on salvaging at the moment. We need the sailing experience, we need the materials. The iron salvaging hook, I believe, will allow us to salvage faster, and the oak cargo hold will allow us to hold more salvage in our cargo hold. And so overall, we'll speed up and make the salvaging better. So we're going to be focusing on trying to get to those first. To get there, we need 18 sailing and 11 construction for the oak cargo hold, as well as 21 sailing and 9 construction for the iron salvaging hook. So at least for the time being, that's what we'll be doing. Oh, actually, I didn't explain why we only need the oak hull, the iron helm, and the oak mast. The rest of the ship upgrades, as far as I can tell, we don't have access to any of the materials for. The most important one, I believe, is the mast. We don't have access to anything required for that. For any of the mast upgrades, we require certain kinds of logs and certain cloth. The cloth that's required for the next upgrade is linen, which is a new kind of cloth from sailing. You can create bolts of linen from linen yarn, and you can create linen yarn from flax. Now, we technically have access to flax because of the Beekeeper random events, which will give you some flax once you have the entire outfit, along with the lamp. However, we need a spinning wheel to make the linen yarn. We also then need a loom to craft a bolt of linen. We also need 12 crafting to do any of this in the first place, and we don't have a method to train crafting either. So we won't be able to upgrade our mast for a little while now, unfortunately. That's the rusty locket? That has the lowest drop rate of any of the items I needed to get from salvaging. That was a 1 in 4,250. Okay. This is my second or third salvaging trip from when this episode started. Okay, that was the one I was most concerned about. I was actually just doing some math. And to go from 25 to 50, I'm going to need to salvage about 6,000 small salvages. But if I don't have to worry about going dry on that one, I think that's gonna be perfectly fine. Sweet. The rusty locket is also completely useless for me. It's something you can turn into the museum in Varrock for 1 kudo and an antique lamp, apparently. So that's 25 sailing. Brimhaven, build flags and trims. So, I think I mentioned this, but I think it's going to take me about 6,000 salvages to get to level 50. And really I need 55 as well, but level 50 for this loop. That'll be a little over 100 trips out and back each time, and each trip takes about 15 minutes. So we're looking at about 25 hours to get to 50 sailing. I want to see if I can get the iron salvaging hook sooner rather than later. I need 32 planks. I need 32 planks to get up to 9 construction so that I can build the iron salvaging hook. So we're a little ways off. But that's probably going to be what I try to get next. Once I have the 32 planks. And then the iron salvaging hook. 4 oak planks and 6 iron bars, which got plenty there. For construction, I plan on building basic cargo holds. As far as I can tell, that's probably my best bet. But they do require 8 planks each and give 232 construction experience. So should be a pretty good way to train. And again, I only need 28 construction for the iron cannon, so that should be a pretty simple thing to do. Now, I believe if I did my calculations correctly, after this salvaging trip, I should have enough. Oh. Cool. Cosmic Talisman. Anyways, I think after this salvaging trip, I should have enough resources to get to level 9 construction for the iron salvaging hook. Oh, and I've been burying all the bones I get from salvaging as well. I've only gotten one prayer level so far. But if I make my way over to the bank, let's see, I need 8 planks, 32 bronze nails per basic cargo hold. I empty all that. I have 33 planks. Sweet. Let's take 16 of those. Just all the bronze nails. Hammer and saw. And make our way over to the shipyard. So, let's see. I can't replace this with its something though. Okay. So modify, completely remove it. And yeah, the only thing I can put here are cargo holds. But build this. Now level 4 construction. Cool. Remove it. Build it. Level 6 construction. Build a range. I can't actually build a range. I need charcoal, which I don't believe I can get in any of my chunks anywhere around. 16 more planks. I guess I could have done 24 planks. Modify this, completely remove it. Build, 8 construction, and 9 construction. Alright, iron salvaging hook. Sweet. Okay, well now we just need to get all the stuff for the iron salvaging hook, which is 4 oak planks, 16 iron nails, 6 iron bars, and a rope. How's it all those? 6 iron bars, 4 oak planks, iron nails, and I need to grab a rope from in here. Oh, and there's something else I also want to try. I want to try using this boat bottle. I don't need my raft anymore. So the boat bottle, if I didn't mention, I believe the boat bottle allows you to store one of your boats in it. And I'm just going to keep using my skiff. I don't need my raft anymore. I want to see exactly how that works. A sentient boat bottle? That's right, if you want you can put a boat in me. I don't mind at all. But how do I put a boat in you? Why would I want to? Well, for the why, because it will let you carry your boat around. For the how, don't worry about that. My magic will sort it all out. Okay. So, do you want to give it a go? Let's see what boats you have. You can't bottle that boat, as it has items in the cargo hold. You'll need to empty it first. Okay. Huh. I wonder if you can just bottle boats from anywhere. That would be interesting. Yeah, I think this came with the repair kits. Oh, and my spyglass and captain's log are in there. Spyglass, captain's log. I don't think the tools actually count. Let me try that. Board. Raft. Yeah, okay, so they're just in all of them. Now, paddle boat, bladed crow, bottle. There you go, all done. Just let me know when you want your boat back. Check. Bladed crow. Me? Anyways, let's actually build the iron salvaging hook now. Modify, build that. Construction is now 11. Which lets me make the oak cargo hold. That's actually really nice. Let's build that now. Modify the basic cargo hold. Replace it with an oak cargo hold. And 13 construction too. Alright, awesome. The oak cargo hold I think can hold 40 items. And and the iron salvaging hook should increase the rate of that I get salvages. So let's try this out. That's 30 sailing. So with the iron salvaging hook in the oak cargo hold, it looks like it's still about 15 minutes per trip, but I get 15 more salvage per trip. All in all, it's like 25% faster, but that's still going to be, give or take, 20 hours of salvaging before we get to level 50, let alone 55, let alone having enough resources to make an oak hull and an iron keel. I was just salvaging and noticed this lost wooden crate. What's it this time? Another steel scimitar. Fair enough. I think we got an Evil Bob random event. Or is this gonna be fishing or magic XP? I really hope it's magic XP, because that would boost my magic level up quite a bit. And... oh, fishing XP. Oh, that got me to fishing level 48. Well, that's something. With knowledge, that will be going straight on to Hunter. 15 Hunter experience. Only 58 more to go. 35 sailing. Oh hey, not a super big unlock, but I just got a beginner clue scroll from this. I didn't even know that you could do that. I needed to get a drop from that from some of the monsters in the cave over here, but I guess that's chunk task complete. Sweet. As far as what the beginner clue scroll is, I don't think there are any of these that I have access to. So probably going to drop it. Yeah, that's way over here. I think there are a couple of Port Sarim steps. So if I do get one of those, I may end up keeping it. Because all of the beginner clue scrolls are in free-to-play areas. And so they're all in this area. I don't think any other ones would be worth really keeping at the moment. We'll see if I ever eventually complete any clue scroll. This is a fun one. Level 5 prayer. Another lamp for Hunter, courtesy of Count Check. Of course we have to take the mystery box. Inside the box you find a cabbage. Better luck next time. Well... that is level 40 sailing. I've been, these shipwrecks have such a weird... you can salvage from these shipwrecks way further out than it looks like you should be able to. So I've been trying, I just started trying to, figure out exactly where, like, the bounds are of this. But that's level 40 sailing. Now dock your boat at Corsair Cove, Dognose Island. Ooh, assign one crew member to duties on your boat. Recruit Jobless Jim from Port Sarim and build an inoculation station. You know what? I am going to go talk to the guy. This guy. Crew Registrar. Manage my crew. Okay. So these are all... so I only have one slot per crew. And I can get up to 5 slots for crews. I don't know if this is... presumably this is total, not per boat. Helmsmen can navigate larger boats, privateering, fire cannons, deckhands, operate facilities. So Jobless Jim, Helmsman 2, Privateer 1, Deckhand 3. Ada is a Helmsman 3, Privateer 2, Deckhand 1. Okay, so that's what that meant in the customize boat menu. So if I go customize boat, then I want to modify the salvaging hook. Replace it. So iron salvaging hook requires 1 deckhandiness. Looks like all of these up until... oh, so bronze, iron, and steel all require 1. Whereas mithril requires 2. Okay, so I think Ada will be able to use the bronze, iron, and steel salvaging hooks if I wanted her to. I think she could also, if I go back to this person, she could also actually steer the ship and fire better cannons as well. But that's good to know. You know, if I'm not mistaken, this will be quite an interesting level. So 6 prayer, but also 4 combat. I know, that's a crazy, absolutely crazy combat level, but I haven't actually trained... Oh, cool, Evil Bob. We'll get back to you in a second. I haven't trained any of my combat stats so far. 1 magic, 1 ranged, 1 defense, 1 strength, 1 attack. All of that prayer was just from salvaging, which is just kind of funny to me. Anyways, let's see what Bob wants. And... oh, just fishing. I'm just finishing up another salvage. And I'm about almost level 41. It's been going pretty good so far. But I wanted to show you what I've been working on. So I think in one of my last clips I may have alluded to this, but I was trying to figure out exactly the regions that you can go in to salvage from any of these. As far as I can tell by trial and error, it's roughly either a 17 by 17 tile or 18 by 18 tile or something along those lines, square region around these shipwrecks. Which is actually like a quite big area. Going from corner to corner of these regions versus center to center ends up being like half the distance between them. Whether this will actually speed up my salvaging or not, I don't know. I just find it interesting. Also, I believe it has to do with where your salvaging hook actually sits. There isn't, as far as I could tell, a point on your ship, apart from the salvaging hook, that determines where you could salvage. Though, again, I could be wrong there. If you're watching this video in the future, there's a good chance you can just look this up on the wiki. I cannot right now because sailing came out less than a week ago. So we don't have a majority of the information yet, and this is just me trying to figure out how to optimize what I'm doing.
Progress is going optimal, surprisingly.
So, I kind of just recorded the clip talking about these shipwreck boundaries, and realized there's a shipwreck right here, just inside the next chunk over. Kind of got me wondering if I'd be able to access this. Now, I have a feeling it probably goes right up to the chunk boundary and I won't be able to, but I still kind of want to try. Kind of like this one. I think it's going to be like this one where it goes up to the chunk boundary. These yellow tiles, by the way, are inside my chunk, so if I could walk on the water, I could walk on those tiles and still be within my chunk. Also, I didn't actually check on this one here to see if you could access it outside of this chunk. I'm just kind of extrapolating that's the boundary based off of the sizes of these regions, which I was able to get more exact sizes for. If I come around this way and get as close to this border as I can, hopefully without going over. If I try here, that does not. Okay. I'm going to try to back up a little bit. If I just let the boat back up, it will end up turning around. So I'm trying not to do that. Okay, now that's about... Can I get any closer? I might be able to get a little bit closer. Doesn't really look like it though. That is well outside of my chunks though. This was basically what I was doing to try to figure out what these boundaries were, by the way. Was just trying to line up that salvaging hook as best I could. Inch by inch. That still looks and within my chunks. And if I show you this, you can see that tile is inside of my chunk. Yeah, no, I can't. I didn't really think so. Again, I think it's probably pretty well lined up to the chunk boundary, but it was worth the experiment. Oh, a Rick Turpentine. Anything good? Oh, huh. Tooth half of key. It's gonna be a while before I could use that. Look what we have here. That is a steel bar. That was... No. Okay, I'll take care of this guy real quick. Got the lederhosen hat. Definitely sticking with this. Anyways, I was doing some salvaging. Wasn't paying all that much attention, and I looked down at my inventory, and we've got a steel bar. When I initially checked that this was at a, like, 1 and almost 1650 drop from the small salvage. If I look at the wiki now, it's around about there as well. Actually, a little higher. Lower. About 1 in 1688. The loot tracker isn't working for sailing for the salvage, so I haven't actually been keeping track of how many salvages I've done. So let's see, if I just go... I started salvaging at level 15, and I'm currently at 48,810 XP. 46,399. You get 15.5 XP per salvage. You get 10 from salvaging it from the shipwrecks, and then another 5.5 from sorting it. That's almost 3,000 salvage. So just going off of that, well over drop rate to get a seal bar. But regardless, got it, so that's some task complete. Awesome. We really only need the Sailor's Amulet now from the salvage. Of course, we also need a whole lot more XP, and a whole lot more oak planks, and a whole lot more iron bars. So regardless, we're going to be at this for a while longer. Oh, I should probably mention. So, the steel bar, given that it's such a low drop rate, I'm not counting it towards anything that we're required to do. There's nothing on the ship itself that I could even do with it. Any of the steel facilities or anything require teak planks, which I don't have access to. Some other ones require lead or other resources that I also don't have access to. So I can really only do the bronze and iron tiers on the ships. At least one of these bars, we just have a pretty long woodcutting, fletching, firemaking grind for yew trees. I'm probably going to end up turning this into an axe when I have the smithing level for it. Now, we could get some best in slot equipment with the steel bars, but we would need to smith all of it. We would need like a dozen steel bars. And steel just isn't very good equipment. So unless we happen to have enough at the end of the grind, I'm not going to require it. 43 sailing. That is halfway to 50, halfway to getting a sloop, which will be our next ship upgrade. And then a little under a quarter of the way to 55. No, a little over a quarter of the way to 55. So we still have quite a bit of salvaging left. I do think after this, probably going to take a break, do some other stuff for some time. I kind of want to train up my combat stats a bit, because I'm still, with the exception of prayer from the bones from the salvage, I'm still level 1 in, like, everything, and so I think it'd be nice to train that up a bit. We do need to kill a deadly red spider in our chunk, so part of my chunk rules are that I have to kill everything at least once, and also obtain all drops from everything. If we receive an item from multiple sources, we don't have to get that item multiple times. And things like the rare and the gem drop table I'm not counting in this. But the deadly red spider doesn't actually drop anything that we need. It drops a beginner clue scroll, along with just a regular giant spider and a giant rat, but we've already gotten that from salvaging, so we don't need to worry about getting that. We just need to defeat one of them. And I could safe spot it pretty easily, but I want to train up my combat stats a bit anyways, so I'm probably going to be working towards that. We do need 5 attack to wield the steel scimitar, and we need 5 defense to wear the Tyrus helm, but I'm thinking of just training all my stats up to like 20. Shouldn't take too long, but then I'm going to probably move on to some smithing, woodcutting, and stuff for skilling grinds. We do still need 200,000 gold to buy the sloop in the first place. I think a majority of that is probably going to come from selling unstrung longbows, because we need to do the fletching anyways, and that is a pretty good moneymaker, as far as I'm aware. At least that's the best I can come up with in these chunks. So that will be probably the next little while. I did want to start discussing chunks, though. So I'm still a ways off from being able to roll my first chunk. But I have been thinking about it, kind of thinking about what we would have access to, where it would be cool to get to, what would be cool to do. We have access to these 2 chunks, and this chunk, once again. We can't go anywhere that I'm aware of from this chunk. We can't sail our ship out, so we don't have the ability to unlock anything around here, at the moment at least. These chunks, though, we can unlock either of these 2 chunks, or either of these 2 chunks. I don't entirely know what... having these regions marked, by the way, has been actually surprisingly useful. It's nice to be able to know where I can drop the hook. It's really decreased the sailing time between these 3 areas quite a bit. Anyways, the chunks. I don't entirely know what any of these chunks have. So these 2 chunks, I think, have sharks or some other kinds of enemies. These 2 chunks, I don't really think have much. These 2 chunks, I really don't know. The chunks around Tempras, which are these chunks, well really all of these chunks, pose a bit of an issue. We can technically sail through these as far as I'm aware, but without access to a better mast and sails, we're going to be constantly taking damage. But we'll be able to use repair kits, I think, to mitigate that, and by the time we get here, we'll have a ship with much stronger, with much more HP, and hopefully be a little bit more resistant, but we'll have to see exactly how that goes. If we do roll one of these chunks, and it ends up being that we can't do anything, we'll probably remove the rest of these as rollable chunks until we do get that better mast. But at least there's some area here that we could sail in outside of the storm. Kind of the 2 main directions we have are to go towards Tempras, which I think would be a really great area to get to. Having access to Tempras itself would be really cool, to be able to do that grind. We already have the fishing level to do that in the first place, but we would need to unlock all 3 of these chunks before we actually have access to that. In order to even get on land here, we would need to unlock both of these chunks in the first place, so really just this one additionally. Also down here is the spinning wheel and loom, which again would be super nice for this stormy area to be able to get to. I otherwise don't know what and how much I could do within the storm area to begin with. The other option for kind of the direction we can go is up towards Port Sarim. I don't particularly want to go to Port Sarim. Having these 2 chunks poses a big issue, in that it unlocks this dungeon, which has the fire and ice giant bosses in them, which would end up requiring a big grind there, and with next to no decent equipment. But we may end up going past here. Catherby would be great to get to, because there's this current affairs quest, which is one of the sailing quests. We already did the Pandemonium. There's also Prime Times here, which requires Night Sword, which would require a bunch of chunks up here, as well as I think the Vera Castle. So, gonna be a while before we can do that. And then Troubled Tortugans, which is, I believe, down here. Yeah, this requires, I think it's like 51 Slayer. Slayer is notoriously difficult to grind on OneChunk accounts because, well, first of all, we don't have access to a Slayer Master. Second, if we did, they would most likely give us a task outside of our chunks that we don't have access to. Anyways, I am probably going to start combat then. I think I'm gonna start on the seagulls because I don't think they can do any damage to me, and getting the first couple of levels should then be pretty easy. Once I get probably that 5 attack to wield the steel scimitar and 5 defense to... Oh, hey, look at that. Already an attack level. But once I get the 5 attack and the 5 defense for the steel scimitar and the Tyrus helm, I'll probably just grab those. And then move on to the cave. Level 5 attack? That was very quick. It's only been like a minute or two. I believe I can now wield the steel scimitar. Alright, and now switching to defense. And level 5 defense. Again, that really only took a couple minutes. With that though, we should be able to wear a Tyrus helm. It's 1,300 coins, you've gotta be kidding me. I thought 1,000 coins was going to be more than enough. Tyrus helm is I believe effectively just a steel full helm though. And there is the Tyrus helm. With the Tyrus helm and the steel scimitar, that at least knocks those two out of the way for best in slot. I also need to get basically all the rest iron equipment. I'm gonna go to this cave where there are giant rats and giant spiders. Deadly red spiders are also in there, but I'm thinking I'm going to train my combat up to like 20s. I also think that the rats are probably going to do damage to me, so I'm gonna bring some shrimp so that I can heal a bit. Now, first off, there are level 1 rats here. Technically speaking, also a chunk task. Since I'm saying I have to kill everything, all monsters in my chunk, technically speaking, also count. Same with the level 1 spider. So we'll just get those out of the way. There we go. But some deadly red spiders are over here. Those are level 34. And giant rats, level 3. Let's see how this goes. I do want to switch to strength. For anyone who isn't totally aware of how these work, at least from my understanding, your attack is basically how accurate attacks are, how often you hit. Strength is how hard you hit, and so your strength will increase your max hit. And defense, of course, is how often you take damage. More or less just for the hell of it. I am going to pick up all the raw rat meat for just some extra cooking experience. So, just hit level 5 strength, level 8 combat. I can hit 2s now, which is great. These rats are hitting me, but not much. And so I've gotten most of my inventory filled with rat meat. I have been focusing on the rats, not the spiders, because the rats drop bones and meat. Up to 8 prayer. Have all the low level, well, nope, still missing the magic one at 9. Almost all the low level prayers unlocked. So, oh, the giant spiders are actually level 2. Yeah, easy enough. But yeah, they don't drop anything. I have a full inventory of food, and these guys aren't really doing any damage to me. I'm only at level 8 combat, but let's see if I can take down one of these guys. I don't know how tough they actually are.
It was at this moment that she knew. She fucked up.
Oh, that's immediately a 3, and then a 2. Nope. Nope. Those guys are a bit harder. Yeah, get me out of here. Okay, 320 coins, not bad. But yeah, so those guys do hit hard. Well, at least a whole hell of a lot harder than them. Again, only just hit level 5 strength. Maybe I was a bit cocky there.
Maybe?
Again, my goal is probably 20 in all combat stats, and so we'll try again when I hit that. I just hit 21 strength, 15 combat. I know I said I was going to go to like 20 strength, but I wanted to go to 21 because I believe this gives me a max hit when training the other skills. 15 prayer, level 45 cooking. I realized I don't think I ever actually showed the loot that I got from salvaging. We're at 43 sailing, which is halfway to level 50 sailing, and a little over a quarter of the way to 55 sailing. And the loot we got is looking alright at the moment. So just in raw GP, we got almost 18,000 coins. We got another boat bottle, Have not gotten another rusty locket, haven't gotten the sailor's amulet. We got the 1 steel bar, almost 100 iron bars, possibly over 100 iron bars. I forget how many iron bars I used on the ship. That's actually looking pretty good then. If we keep that up at about 100 iron bars and that amount of salvages, that means we'll be good for when we actually get to 55 sailing. We need 400 iron bars for the iron keel. We also need 400 oak planks for the iron keel. Not for the iron keel. We need 400 oak planks for the oak hull. And so we're a little under that, but also, again, we used some oak planks on our ship to begin with. And so I think we're probably at about 100 oak planks total. We'll probably have to go a little over 55 sailing. I don't think too tremendously, though, which will be nice. I was a little worried we were only going to have like 200 by the time we got to 55 sailing. We also got 356 bronze bars, which each bronze bar gives 12.5 smithing experience when you actually smith with it. So that's 4,450 experience, which will get me to 19 smithing. If my calculations are all correct, this is actually working out incredibly well. By the time we get to 55 sailing, we should almost have all of the resources we need to complete all of the skilling chunk grinds. Level 20 attack, level 20 defense, and 26 combat. I am going to cook this entire inventory of rat meat, and then we're going to see if we can kill one of these deadly red spiders. If you'll notice, their name is slightly less red. It's like an orange, or very reddish orange. I'm hoping this will be enough to easily be able to defeat one of them. If it isn't, I'm probably just going to grab my runes and safe spot one, because I don't really feel like training more melee stats. Although, speaking of which, I'm probably going to... I think I'm going to grab my mind runes and train some magic after this regardless. I only have 80, so it should be pretty quick, though I will have to manually cast each one, which kinda sucks. Anyways, let's try this. Let's go after you. Let's see. First bit of damage on them. These guys are a little bit more difficult. I've been a little paranoid about dying, so I've been eating my food a bit more frequently than I probably needed to. Come on, just one more hit. There we go. That was payback for earlier.
I'm just a normal guy who enjoys revenge.
Anyways, that was the last monster we had to defeat. So with that, defeating all monsters in our chunks, that's chunk task complete. That was 609. It took me 619 rats, plus, I don't know, like 20 or so spiders that I hit. The loot tracker doesn't keep track of them because I don't drop anything. Now, yeah, just take those. Let's see where this gets me. 5 magic. Actually, kind of surprised we got there. Only have 25 mind runes left, though. As a reminder, we got these mind runes from a random lost wooden crate that we found while sailing. So the next thing I want to do is start woodcutting. In order to do that, I need to make an iron axe that only requires level 16. Because it's only 1 iron, I'm willing to use that to make an axe, because it'll be like 50% better for woodcutting than a bronze axe. I think once I get to level 5, I'm just going to make bronze arrow tips. We have a big fletching grind, and so having arrow tips will help with that. We can buy feathers from Henderson here. So making bronze arrow tips will allow me to make actual like full bronze arrows, which I hope should help quite a bit with the fletching grind. And that is level 5 smithing. Level 10 smithing. Level 16 smithing. Now to smith an iron axe. Now we can begin our woodcutting, fletching, firemaking grind. Gotta start with all the normal trees. I need 15 woodcutting for oak trees, 15 firemaking and fletching as well. Just got back with our first inventory. I need to go buy a tinderbox and a knife. Yes, a knife, which is 15 coins, and a tinderbox, which is 2 coins. I mean, yeah, I think we want to train up firemaking and fletching side by side for now. We do have a bunch of logs. We got these, most of these at least, apart from 25 of them, from salvaging. So may as well put those to use here and do some firemaking. You know, with forestry, there's this thing you can do where if you use a log on a fire, you can toss all the logs in. You only get... Wait. I thought you only got like 30% of the XP. Never mind. You do now get full firemaking XP. That's nice. That actually makes firemaking AFK. That's super useful, actually. Like, I didn't think I wanted to do that because I thought it was only a third of the XP that you get. But since it's the full XP, I mean, might as well. Saves me from having to make massive lines. This one should be 15 firemaking. So there's that. And we do have nearly 3,000 bronze arrow tips. So we'll want about the same number of feathers. Oh, hey, Quizmaster. Neat. And, ooh, a casket. We got a mystery box inside of a mystery box. And then uncut sapphire. Anyways, we need feathers. They're 200 coins each. And we need 28. That's 5,000. Okay. So we have this. We have the knife. We have the arrow tips. We have the feathers. Now an oak longbow I can make at 25 fletching. For now, probably just gonna use all of these arrowheads. Once we finish off all these arrow tips, then we'll be switching to making longbows. That's the 15 fletching we needed. Oops. I went a little past 15 woodcutting. But that's 15 woodcutting. So now we should be able to cut down oak trees. I'm really hoping these bronze arrow tips will get me to at least 25 fletching. That's the level for oak longbows. Bronze strong oak longbows. Which I think are going to be my best bet for making money for a little while at least. What are oak shields worth? Oak shields and unstrung longbows are worth the same amount. So yeah, probably the oak longbows. Oh, yeah, oak trees only last like 30 seconds. So that's fun. Oh well. Not gonna be crazy AFK until we can get some maples. But should still be decent. And I'll be able to just walk back and forth between... Can I not cut that oak tree? Why can't I cut that oak tree? Is there... Huh. Okay, I guess I'm going to these two oaks. That's crazy that I can't cut that oak tree. That one, these two. Are there any other trees you can't cut here? Hold on, I need to do a little bit of exploring. What? You can't even get over here, yet you can cut down all of these trees. What the hell? But not that oak tree. That's really funny. It has to have something to do with the boat schematics being there. You know, I'm wondering if they did that to, like, prevent people from accidentally clicking the oak tree that's behind the schematics or something. That would make sense, I guess. That's probably what it is. Alright, Jagex, I'll give you a pass on that.
This one time.
25 woodcutting. 20 firemaking. 25 firemaking. 30 woodcutting. So, I brought my main over here to try to spawn forestry events. This is the first one. I just have them over here cutting the yew tree that's right here. And the maple tree when that runs out. Personally, I quite enjoy forestry. On this account, I've done an absolute ton of forestry. I have the entire thing green logged. You can even see I have the fox pet right there. Is this giving me... This is actually giving me farming XP. Although I think it's giving me, like... Is it just one per... I think it might be half an XP per farming level. But yeah, I quite like forestry. I think it was a great addition to RuneScape. Oh, and when I say main, this is my main, at least what I consider my main. She's an iron as well. I don't actually have any non-iron accounts, but I am actually trying to work towards 99 woodcutting on this account. So this actually works out pretty well. I wasn't entirely sure if this would actually work. I'm really hoping for the fox event. Oh, 31 woodcutting. Nice. I was really hoping for the fox event, because that gives hunter experience, though I think it's in the same, like, very little as, like, the farming is. 30 firemaking. And 35 woodcutting. 30 fletching. Second forestry event. I don't know if I mentioned, I don't think I mentioned, in order to spawn forestry events, you need that backpack, which you can really only get from foresters in certain areas, which are not in my chunks. So that's why I need my alt here. Forestry events give woodcutting experience. A handful of them give different kinds of experience, such as the tree one from last time gave farming experience. They also give anima-infused bark, which you can use to purchase things. And a couple of them give unique items as well. This one also drops seeds, which is something people tend to miss, because it drops them on the ground, instead of putting it in your inventory. Beehive event. No, unfortunately I don't have really any logs, because I just came back from dumping my inventory. 35 firemaking. Go fetch. Go puppy. And that's level 40 woodcutting. Only 5 more to go before we can cut maples, though again, we have plenty more firemaking and fletching levels before we can do that. Already firemaking. Only 5 more levels to go for firemaking now. Aww, who's a good kitty?
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
I was doing some firemaking, and I discovered something. So I already mentioned this. If you use a log on a fire, you can use your log, and it'll turn it into a forester's campfire. This will then use up your entire inventory of logs, and you'll get firemaking XP, but it'll take a lot longer than, like, manually lighting fires with your logs. If you stop this, you can then use another log on the forester's campfire, or you can also just click on the forester's campfire and it'll do the same thing. What I discovered is that you can manually tend to the forester's campfire. I think what ends up being faster... Oh, you just walked in my fire? What I think ends up being faster than manually lighting fires. So after each XP drop, if I just click on this again and hold down spacebar, it'll skip so much of the delay of using the Forester's Campfire. This, I think, ends up being faster than manually lighting fires because you don't have to worry about failing to light a fire, and you don't have to worry about, like, getting to the end of your line because you're blocked by something and having to, like, go back to the start or anything. So this is the method I'm going to be using from now on. I was just doing a little bit of salvaging while I needed something a bit more AFK. I was just about to return to some woodcutting, but I got another steel bar. That makes 2. I don't even know what I'm gonna do with them at this point. That is 50 woodcutting. Unrelated to this account, I just got 97 on my main and thought it might be worth sharing. I just got this hard clue scroll from a bird's nest. I haven't actually gotten any easy or medium clue scrolls. I've gotten a number of beginner clue scrolls, both from bird's nests, from salvaging, from killing all the rats, but none of them were the one that I was looking for. I think it's like Brian in the Port Sarim Battle Axe shop. This one, however, this is a hard clue scroll, and I don't expect to actually ever be able to complete a hard clue scroll, but this is in the Wizard's Tower, so I think I'm going to keep this one, as I doubt I will get one that's closer. Book of Knowledge. And that is 3 XP for level 2 Hunter. That hurts so much. 45 Fletching. So that's technically maples, but we're going for 50 so we can make maple short bows. So we still have 5 levels left. So someone just informed me that to build the holes on the boats, like the oak hull, the teak hull, those things, you need swamp tar? I thought you needed swamp paste, which I can just buy here. But no, you need tar. The only real way I would have access to that anytime soon is if I got the Lumberage Swamp unlocked. And so long story short, the oak hull is no longer a port task. I just finished an inventory and immediately upon exiting, I got a freaky forester. Cool, just need 1 more to stack it in lamps. That's 55 woodcutting. I was just fletching. I have no idea what the hell this thing is. The Drink Troll Society is much more complicated than anticipated. I have absolutely no idea what that is. Someone summoned that and then just, like, left? 50 fletching. That now lets me make maple short bows. On top of that, this should be 45 firemaking. Now burn maple logs. Of course, I have 56 woodcutting from all of that. So I'm going to try flipping over to maples. I don't exactly know how well this will work. It's my first maple log already, though. But I have been keeping track of it a bit. I've been getting about 5,000 fletching experience, about 9,000 woodcutting experience an hour. And I've been able to get about 12 inventories an hour at the oaks, which, selling the longbows at 8 gold each, gets me to almost 2,600 gold an hour, give or take. I'm hoping it'll be better experience and better gold, or at least comparable, because I think maple trees last more than twice as long as oak trees do, and so even if it's comparable to oaks, it's more AFK. Okay, so I've been doing this for a little while. It's looking like, it's actually looking better than I was expecting. I was expecting maples to be worse than oaks, but they are looking better. I'm getting about 13,000 woodcutting experience an hour, about 7,000 fletching experience an hour, and about 2,700 gold an hour, compared to the 9,000 woodcutting, 5,000 fletching, and 2,600 gold an hour from the oaks. The gold will also should increase to about 4,300 gold an hour once I unlock the maple longbows, which are at 55 fletching. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna stick to maples. So I think we're gonna call it there for the time being. This episode went on a little bit longer than I had anticipated, but we certainly did accomplish a lot. Tune in next week where we finish up the remaining tasks in our chunks, and finally get to rolling some new ones. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.